This is an update. We covered this initially when it actually broke. That judge that you see illegally incarcerated children. Juvenile court judge, let's put up her full picture because now this judge is going to retire. She should be going to jail. Tennessee judge who illegally jailed children is able to now retire and said she will not seek reelection. Let me give you some background to this judge who did this extreme deed. Since 2000, this judge, Donna Scott Davenport, has overseen the juvenile justice system in Rutherford County. That's Tennessee. But the county jail, get this, 48% of the cases referred to juvenile court, compared with the statewide average of only 5%. State Senator Heidi Campbell and State Representative Gloria Johnson said they would propose legislation that could result in the removal of Davenport. They started that process, all right? Now, let's fast forward. Once again, this was under federal review. A federal judge had to intervene. The practice was illegal. It did not fit the guideline of the state. However, she was still able to serve, and now she is able to retire. In Tennessee, state lawmakers, they actually did what they said they would do. The lawmakers have placed narrow limits on when children can be locked up prior to a delinquency hearing. But from 2018 to 2017, Rutherford County's juvenile jail instituted its own system. That's a different way of saying their own law, called a filter system, under which any child deemed a true threat could be detained. No criminal statute, no criminal issue, just if they are deemed a true threat, okay? Judge Davenport appointed the jail's director, who also reports to her. In 2017, a federal judge ordered the county to put a stop to this illegal filter system. The judge, Donna Scott Davenport, was at the center of the controversy over the arrest and detention of children in the county. That judge has announced she will step down this year rather than run for re-election. Earlier on Tuesday, ProPublica and Nashville Public Radio published a story about a move by some Tennessee lawmakers to remove Judge Davenport from her post. Well, they said they were going to do it if she did not resign. About an hour after the story published, Davenport, in an email sent by the county spokesperson, announced that she will not be running for re-election this year. Instead, she plans to retire when her current 8-year term expires this summer. She's still going to remain a judge until her term expires. Judge Davenport, in her retirement announcement, said, and I quote, "After prayerful thought and talking with my family, I have decided not to run for re-election after serving more than 22 years on the bench. I will always look back at my time as judge as one of the greatest honors of my life. And I am so proud of what this court has accomplished in the last 2 decades and how it has positively affected the lives of young people and families in Rutherford County." Now remember, what is her legacy? Her legacy is violating the law. Her legacy is incarcerating children who did not deserve incarceration whatsoever. They deserved rehabilitation, wraparound services, guidance, mentorship, but not incarceration. She did this. She was in violation of law. She is not being arrested. They're not going to take her to jail. She will be allowed to retire and still receive a paycheck after doing this. And then she has the audacity to tell everyone that she's proud of her service. Not apologizing, not stepping down in shame as she should, but she's proud of locking up damn near 50% of every child that went in front of her. That's insane. There's no jurisdiction in the United States of America that has that level of incarceration for juveniles. None, I checked, not one. And that state is only 5%. A bill was introduced in the Tennessee legislature, sought to remove Davenport following reporting, and big ups to the reporting from Nashville Public Radio and ProPublica, detailing how the county's justice system was illegally arresting and jailing children. Now, I want to remind everyone, the justice system did not catch this. They knew about it, but they didn't catch it. They could have, they chose not to. This is not one of those automatic corrections in the justice system because their checks and balances were so strong. This is one of those media checks. When the media got involved, the wheels of right started moving in the right direction. That's why it's important to not have media that's bought out, paid by local or national corporations. The interest has to remain pure. Senator, what are your thoughts on this?
Amen to everything that you just said, Doc, on that. 3 things. Number 1, appalling. This judge, Donna Scott Davenport, appalling. Number 2, where was the filter system for her? There was a failure. Should have had a filter system for her. And I'm really glad that the press, ProPublica and others put the pressure on, and that they did have some elected members of the Tennessee legislature that acted, because this could have continued to fall on people who were not going to do anything. So I want to shout them out for getting into action. And lastly, 2 other points. Different rules for different folks, because I agree with you, Doc. She should not be allowed to retire gracefully. And then that statement just shows that she has a callous indifference to what the hell she did, the hubris, all of that. But that also ProPublica there's new documents that prove that the Tennessee County disproportionately jails Black children.
That's right.
So all of this that we're talking about right now, for our sisters and brothers and family and friends who always say, what racism? What systemic racism? Baby, this is an example of systemic racism.
There it is.